All right, now it's time for your challenge. So I'm going to give you certain things to do so you can explore the research process. I'm going to read through them together with you, and then it'll be your turn to explore. Share my screen real fast so you can see what I see. Remember, if it looks different than the final product, that is A-okay. It might because I'm still in the process of making it right now. Here we go. So our challenge. The first thing I want you to try is to explore Google versus Bing. So choose a topic to research. Example, where's the nearest park, best pizza near me? And then I want you to use google.com and bing.com to search this topic. Compare and contrast the results using complete sentences. So that what that would look like is I would open up a new tab and I would go to google.com. And I would type in any search I want. So I'm going to do best pizza near me. You'll need to come up with one of your own, but that's the one I did. I'm going to look at the results, see what it looks like, and then I'm going to describe this in my own words. Things I might say are, there's about 1,280 results. It took 0.87 seconds. I might say the first result that came up was Fox's Pizza Den. Anything like that would be fine. Now, I want to try the same thing, but in Bing and see what happens. Here we go. So I went to bing.com. Then I copied and pasted best pizza near me. And let's compare the results. Okay. So the first thing I notice is I don't see the same information that I saw when I did my Google search. I don't see how many results, how long it took. And then I can also note that in this search, it gave me Blaze Pizza first. And also it looks a little bit different. So those are all things I could write down when I am comparing the results between Bing or Google. Now, in the next one, I want you to try quotation marks. So it says when you put words in quotation marks, it tells the search engine that those words are important and must be included. Try searching the same phrase with and without quotation marks. So my example is John Newbery Medal 2020 or John Newbery Medal 2020. Describe what happens to results in complete sentences. So what I can do, and since I got what I thought were better results on Google, that's the one I'm going to use as my search engine. And let's see what happens. Let's try quotation marks. And to get quotation marks, you'll press Shift, and you'll see a button with 1 dash on the bottom and 2 dashes on top. I want Shift, quotation marks, looks like 2 dashes. I'm going to type in John Newbery Medal. I'm going to close it with another set of quotation marks, so Shift and the same button again. And then I'm going to put 2020. And let's see what results we get. Okay, so we ended up with, whoops, looks, had a misspelling. They caught me. That is what I meant, Google. Very good. Thanks for the help. So here are my number of results. Here's how long it took. I can see the very first thing that came up was the Newbery Award winner for this year. And really, I can check out anything else I think might be valuable. But the point of the second challenge is to compare my results with quotation marks to my results without quotation marks. So what I might do this moment is write down this number and this time, and then compare it to what happens when I take away the quotation marks. So I'm going to delete them and do the same search again. Let's see what happens. Wow, so my results did change. I have more results when I took away the quotation marks, and it took less time. But I do notice that this opening, this first web page I see, is pretty much the same. So those are all things I could write down when I'm comparing and contrasting what happens with and without quotation marks. The next thing is autofill. So it says Google autofill. Try the Google autofill function. Type this phrase in the search bar. What is the best and type the top 3 school appropriate responses. Type in this phrase, what is the best, and see what comes up. Whoa, it can really tell, probably because I was just searching pizza. That's what my top 3 results are. So I want you to type in the results you get when you type in what is the best. So I'm going to type in what is the best pizza, what is the best pizza in the world, what is the best pizza place, and I would write it in my Google form underneath this particular challenge. Now, the next one is about misspellings. It says search engines are able to interpret what we mean when we misspell words. Create a list of 3 words you know and write them in the space below. Then complete a search with those words, but intentionally misspell them. Describe what you see in complete sentences below next to the list you created. So the first thing I want to do is my list. So I could write down 3 words I know. Let's say I know the word school, I know the word textbook, and I know the word pencil. So then I would write my answers right here. Now it's not letting me because I'm in the teacher view and not the student view, but you would be able to type your 3 words in this space right here. Then I'm going to go and I'm going to intentionally misspell them in my search. So I'm going to try for pencil. Let's do pencil. Let's see what happens. Oh, interesting. It came up with a result. It says, is this what you meant? Is this what you meant? Looky there. That is indeed what I meant. And then I would describe what happened, that it gave me a different spelling. It still came up with basically what I was going for. But let's try something even more misspelled. Let's try school, but let's really misspell it. Oh dear, it could not help me find it because I was not close enough. So in this case, I would mention, I tried to misspell school, but it was too misspelled for them to understand what I was trying to say. Now, move out of my way, bar, because I don't need you. There we go. Ha. Then here is your final challenge. But make sure before you move on to the last challenge, you write here the list of 3 words and then what happened when you intentionally misspelled them. Give me the results, tell me if it offered you suggestions or it wasn't able to. And then finally, here is our last challenge. Choose a topic, e.g. koalas or Mount Everest, and write at least 3 questions based on that topic. So the example I gave was koalas. My question, what is a koala's primary food source? So basically, what does a koala eat? And I would come up with 3 more questions about koalas and type them right here. So that's the same thing you're going to do. Come up with your own topic and write 3 questions. And this is good practice for when you're doing the research process. All right, guys. Good luck to you, and be sure to email me if you have any questions. Meet back at the exit ticket when you are finished.